Hello, and welcome back to the definitive Starship review series without access to a proper table. Today, we're going to be looking at the USS Hiawatha, issue 20, I think, of the Discovery Collection to celebrate the release of Discovery Season 4 this week. Hopefully, we're getting to the part of the pre-recording where things are getting a bit shaky. But yeah, the Discovery Federation fleet is probably mildly controversial. When it comes to the exterior, the actual the Starship design of all the exterior bits, it's taken me a while to warm up, but I actually really like the Discovery fleet. I'm not entirely comfortable with the timeline, but I'm not also entirely hateful of, how close it is to TOS. But I think after getting these models specifically in the Stellaris Star Trek mod, I'm really seeing a lot of the design lineage and more of like, this is what ships became the Discovery ships and what they will become in the future. It's really great. But the Hiawatha, even though we really only see it as wreckage, I remember being quite fond of early on as a design. I think in part because it's a medical ship, it has a really different and unique function. And I've since learned from the magazine the sort of lineages from this model. And it's... yeah, I quite like the Hiawatha, which is why we're starting with it. But, of course, before we get into the review, I am part of the Eaglemoss affiliate program, which means that if you choose to purchase this model because of this video, there's a link in the description. That is an affiliate link, which means I will get a 7% commission on the sale. So there's a monetary incentive for me to give positive reviews, and I really should probably just pre-record this once and have a set intro so I don't have to keep saying it every single time I do a video. But yes, let's get into the scale comparisons first for the Hiawatha, as always. There isn't a good Enterprise comparison, but we've brought out the Enterprise J yet again because it was the closest. The Hiawatha comes up to about there on the Enterprise J. Whoops, if you own the model. But yeah, it's smaller than every Enterprise, and the XCV-330, the ring ship Enterprise, is also pretty similar to the J in size, if you want that comparison. A much better comparison, here's the model you don't see on the channel very often, is the USS Franklin. Lovely little model, but it is basically a perfect size match for the Hiawatha. And they're both pretty flat ships, so that is nice as well. Moving over to the Discovery Collection, the Klingon Cleave ship was about the best match I could find. It changes in height vertically, but from front to back, it is seemingly the same size as the Hiawatha. And finally, over on the Universe Collection, the normal size La Serena is a very good size comparison. Nice to bust it out of storage before massively packing the entire collection away to move to college. But yes, enough about other models. The Hiawatha is what we're really here to talk about. The model, it originally had kind of a spear. Just look at that. That's actually, they're very different models, but something about that, just the height of the nacelles, the saucer section, I can really see this becomes this. Make the saucer section bigger, more operational capacity. Just pull these up a little bit, and of course build a huge section down here, and what is it, 100 years? Yeah, about 100 years, this becomes this. I can really see it. But yeah, I don't care that it's not a sphere. I mean, this is the only medical ship we see in canon, and it's 100 years later. And I say canon, it's like that weird Q future that was made. But it's just got the bits. I think that the way the nacelles and the front lineup, it works really well. But originally it did have a sphere head, as the magazine describes. But the other thing that I really liked is the modular system kind of comes from the Botany Bay, which, it's got these, I think it can go all the way around technically, but the Botany Bay has these little squares that can like pop off and come on. And this is basically 200 years? Yeah, about 200 years after this. Yeah, this is what this becomes, You've got 4 little bays, 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side that can kind of pop off. The magazine calls them basically hospitals that they can go down and like send to a planet. Not sure how, but I like the modular system nonetheless. And then a shuttle bay on each side, medical transport. in another little modular back here. And I really like that. I like the utilitarian, is it? Utilitarian, something like that. The design of, this is a hospital ship, a hospital freighter specifically. So we might need loads of hospitals, we might need more cargo-based stuff. You can just take off and slap in what you need. I'm always a big fan of those modular starship designs whenever Star Trek does them. I mean, you wouldn't have your 5-year mission, your flagship class have that, but I love the like highly specialized ships of, yeah, these are going to go on highly specialized missions within the Federation, just plug and play little modules. I love that. The model itself is quite nicely done. You've got the Discovery style Aztecing all across the model. I mean, every square inch, even these little front bits here, has, well, this bit doesn't, but I think that might be engine-y style things, I'm not sure. But yeah, everything has got that detailing, that texture, so even the, otherwise this would be real bland, this just be gray, but texturing makes it interesting to look at. You've got your red pinstriping, which also really helps the model pop. It's not a lot, but it really does a lot to help prevent this model from looking boring. And it's also weathered. You can probably see on the nacelle. Yeah, you can see on the nacelle, it's very weathered, kind of a chipped paint look after it crash lands, of course, on the asteroid. And then basically all of its other details are highlighted in this little gray bit. Mostly kind of random details that just help make it look good, but you've got some intricate stuff, like down here, almost looks like a bunch of engine paneling and stuff. You got a little bit of blue I'm seeing mixed in with some of these control panels. That bit's a bit off. And then you've got your bridge at the top to help get the scale, which of course Discovery ships being far too massive, as always. But other than that, yeah, you've got your little nacelles, standard Discovery style nacelles. Early Discovery style nacelles, I suppose I have to say now. I also quite like that it's 815, the registry number, so it's an old ship. Like, it's gonna be a real early Federation. I guess Discovery's 1031, the rest of Discovery kind of hangs around like 1200, 1300, maybe 1400. But this isn't too long after Enterprise, so it's quite nice. I quite like that it's a real old ship that still hangs around because it's so utilitarian, whatever it is, that it's very utility built and functional, that it just works. And yeah, I always like that. And you've also got a weird deflector. This is a bit weird. I don't know if it's screen accurate or not, but the deflector dish appears to just kind of be a black blob down there. You don't really notice it. You have to have it at a weird angle to notice it, like already that much of a tiny tilt, you don't see it. But it is kind of weird. I guess Discovery deflector dishes aren't really blue. They are kind of black, but they're usually radar dishes, or they look like radar dishes, so I don't really know. But yeah, I remember I've been looking forward to this model quite a bit ever since I started the Discovery collection, 21 months ago, actually, I think, even though this is issue 20. And yeah, I was not disappointed to get it. It's quite a new ship for me. I've only had it for like maybe 2 weeks. But I think that's it for this model, probably. It's a nice model. If you think it looks nice, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. I don't really have any complaints about it. I mean, the black thing's a bit weird, the black deflector dish. But other than that, you really get what you pay for with the Hiawatha and what's advertised. So I think it's a real solid model. That's really it for this model. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, especially for my Discovery Season 4 episode reactions, which should hopefully happen Thursday or Friday. I really shouldn't decide that scheduling, but hopefully this week we can get into doing the episode analysis and reaction rundown, the whole shebang on Discovery. If you have any questions about this model, just ask me and I'll answer in the descriptions. We're still small enough I can answer to every comment. If you want me to review any other model, just let me know and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time!